morning, everybody. This is Charles Owen. Welcome to the virtual user group meeting for United Hardware Fall/Winter 2021. We're going to go through a couple of new features here in Paladin. I enjoy this time with you. I'm sorry that we can't be there in person. We hope to get back to the United Hardware shows. We're always very happy to attend those shows. United does a great job with setting up the technology meetings, and this is in lieu of being there in person. So let's go ahead and get started. This will be recorded, by the way, so you can watch it after the fact. I'm going to jet through this pretty quickly. There's about 40 slides, so lots of material to go over. You can slow it down once you get the recording if you need to. If you have any questions, just let me know. Let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to learn about today is some of the new features that we have in the release. This is our 2020 release, and most of the people have, well, everybody out in the Paladin world have these features right now. So you may know about them, you may not know about them. This is a good opportunity to learn about them, and I appreciate you guys being here. So the first thing is pick list. We'll talk about the pick list for the orders, auto-deleting quotes, something we put in the system recently. You can skip signatures on mobile too. We've added a couple of columns to the transaction report and enabled you to send emails in batch to your good customers, your charge customers, and also limit who is able to return products or who's able to return money versus just the charge-only customers. COD delivery feature is a great feature that we've added on the delivery side. Kind of completes that delivery system. Send purchase orders to any email address. I'll show you how that works. Show location-specific QRs for on the receipt for multi-store, and we've incorporated some of the other fields for advanced lookup searches. And then a new category for rich rewards coupons. To continue adding incremental part numbers when adding inventory, I can go ahead and show you that feature. And then a new special release that came out recently that is helpful to many states that are having these tax holidays where you can partially tax items. We've incorporated a capability for that as well. And the features coming soon is insufficient stock on hand or out of stock alert, Benjamin Moore programs, new bin and item tags, advanced lookup, also incorporating some additional fields, export sales into Excel, and accounting integration updates, as well as previously Blue Tarp Capital One changes. All right. So the new features, let's start out with the pick list. So in the pick list, if you turn a quote into an order, you have an opportunity at any time to generate a pick list. What is left to fulfill on this order? And this will generate a pick list for all orders in the system that have remaining items to be fulfilled. So it's a great feature, and if you can use that, that's wonderful. Here's what it looks like when you print it out. You have an Excel spreadsheet. It breaks out the order into based on the individual or company, and gives you all of the quantities that you need to fulfill. So great report. Another feature that we added recently is you're able to automatically delete stored quotes, right? So you may or may not want to do this. Some stores like to keep quotes in the system forever. Others, after 30 days, they want them removed. So we have a cleanup tool here where you can go into File, Setup Invoice under the Store tab and click on the very bottom. You can see it says delete stored quotes after so many days. You just put the number of days you want to delete it, and it will delete them out of the system. Now remember, this is permanent, so be careful. All right, skip signatures on Mobile 2 checkout. So you can actually, when you're using the Mobile 2 checkout device outside of your store, you can, before always required a signature. Now you can skip the signature if you want, and you just set that up under the credit card signatures pane under File Setup. Moving on to the transaction report, we've actually included a couple of additional columns, and it incorporates all the different integrations and or rewards IDs or columns. In this case, you can see on the example we have here, we've incorporated rich rewards and the rewards number, the Volusion integration with e-commerce and their ID number, and then blue tarp, which is now Capital One, and their IDs. So it gives you an indication of what various integrations you have with this particular invoice. Charge customer email utility. So for all charge customers, you now have the ability to send a batch email out to everybody. So you just go into maintain utilities, customer utilities, email charge customer, and you put in the content that you want to put in here. Maybe you want to advertise a sale, or you want to alert them how you have some changes at the store or having a new grand opening or something like that. You can go ahead and enter your message here. What it looks like on the actual email that is received by the customer, we'll fill in the messages from, or to rather. We'll fill in the, Dear Mary Smith, for example, following messages from, and then your hardware store will be added there, and then all your content will go into the body of the email below. So feel free to use that. Do be careful. It does send an email out to every charge customer that has an email on file. Returns for charge only. So you have a permission now. Some of your cashiers, you do not wish for them to give money back or credit to, or credit to customers that are non-charge account customers. You can go ahead and for certain employees, they can only return items to charge account customers only that have a non-zero credit limit, right? So to set that up, you just go in the Employees tab under File Setup Employees, and you can check the box Returns Charge Only. Moving on to COD, Collect on Delivery. So this feature is available in two scenarios. One, when a customer has no store credit, or two, when a customer that has store credit exceeds their store credit limit. So when a customer has no store credit, what will happen is they'll have the charge button highlighted if you select Schedule Delivery and they do not have any store credit. It'll automatically allow them to charge that temporarily. And the receipt, it's going to show right on the receipt, collect this amount of money on delivery. It appears at the top and the bottom. And then when you receive that monies from the client, say the delivery truck went out, they come back with a check or cash, all you do is go in and put that as a received on account. You click on account payment at checkout under that customer's name, and you can go ahead and receive the payment right then and there, and that will finalize the whole process. A little different scenario, when a customer has a store credit but they exceed their credit limit, it will come up with a box that says, hey, either approve this credit limit or set it up for collect this amount on the delivery. And a manager password is required if you're exceeding the credit limit, but is not required if you're setting up as a COD. On the receipt, you'll still have the information there at the top, what to collect, and at the bottom, what to collect. And then to set this up, to turn it on, you just go into File Setup Delivery tab and enable COD deliveries. There's a little checkbox there. All right, email purchase orders to any address. So now when you send a purchase order, the email purchase order screen pops up, and you can either send it to the address on file or manually enter a new email address to send this order to. Next, on multi-store, if you have a multi-store system, we're enabling you now to have a different QR code on each receipt for each store, or on each store's receipt. So if you have 4 stores, you can have 4 different QR codes, and you just go into File Setup Forms tab for that store and add the image that you want for the QR code. Next, Advanced Lookup searches customer ACH or automated clearinghouse data. So this is if you're doing ACH checks. It will now, if you click on Advanced Lookup and the All box, you'll have an opportunity to search for anything in the ACH check information, such as name, account number, routing number, and so on. In addition, on the GL summary report, we are now breaking out Rich Rewards as its own debit and credit, or asset and expense, right? Before it used to bundle it in with inventory and cost of goods from inventory. Now we break it out separately. I'm sure a lot of you are thrilled about this. This now looks like this on the GL summary report and or the setup, and then on the summary report, which you can get by going to Maintain Data Viewer GL Summary and then set the date range. It will go ahead and break out the coupons issued both as an expense, as an asset, to make it easier for you to identify for those of you who are using Paladin's Rich Rewards loyalty program. All right, so just released, we have a Simplified Tax Holiday sale. So there's a lot of states who are incorporating a tax holiday, which just simply means, hey, you can buy stuff without paying full tax on those. So in this case, the example that we have here, we'll show you. We've got a $400 bicycle, and they've enabled you to take $250 tax-free. So all you would do is do Control-T, or you can right-click and select Tax Holiday and enter the tax-free amount. And what Paladin does is it creates two lines after the original item. One is basically a tax holiday credit SKU, and the other is a tax holiday non-taxable. So when we take the $250 out, we need to add it back in, but we add it back in as non-taxable. So this is entirely automated. All the cashier has to do is know the limit of the tax-free amount, and that's all they have to put in the system. And then all this information is on the comparative revenue report and broken out on the sale tax details report as well. So what's coming soon? Insufficient stock on hand, or oversold warning, right? So this is something that you need to be careful about, right? You don't necessarily want to turn this on because not every store has perfect inventory where your inventory stock on hands are accurate. But in this case, if you activate this and you say, I want to sell 10, for example, and only 5 are available, and you can see on this example here on the left-hand side under stock on hand, it shows 5. Well, if you put 10 in, it's going to come up this warning and say, hey, you don't have enough to fulfill this order. Do you want to just update the quantity to what you have in stock? And you can do that just by pressing OK, or you can cancel and continue to sell it. Now, what's kind of neat about this is there's another feature as part of this that will enable you to tie this message only to certain location range location codes. So for example, you can tie it to all your yard orders or the items that are kept in out back or out front or somewhere that's not in the store, so you can't necessarily see them. Now, we do always show the stock on hand, but not all the cashiers pay attention to that figure. So this is another opportunity to make sure that the cashier realizes that, hey, I know I'm selling 20 of these 2x4s, but it looks like we've only got 10 in stock. So they could, if they want, they can radio into their yard person and say, hey, do we have this or not? It at least reduces the amount of opportunity for customers to be frustrated when they buy 10 and go in the back and they only have 5 available. So it's a great feature. And to turn this on, you go to File, Setup, Invoice Store tab, and there is an Enable Oversold Warning, and below that it will say Filter Oversold Warning by Yard Order Inventory Location. I recommend filtering it by oversold warning by the yard order inventory location, because otherwise it's going to happen on every single item that you don't have enough, according to the computer, of inventory to fulfill the order. Next, there is a Benjamin Moore programs out there that enable you to, or Benjamin Moore to comp the sales rep and your store for purchases. We've got these reports in the system now, and it's just under the access the maintain at the top, go into utilities, and then it'll go into the Benjamin Moore setup, and you can put information in there about the sales rep, the outside sales rep, or we also support the contractor and commercial pricing reports as well. So these are reports that you just turn around. Once you generate from Paladin, you send it to Benjamin Moore and everybody gets credit. To set it up, you would set up your sales reps in the system under a particular customer type, and then assign that customer type to various customers. All right. Well, also we have some a new item tag and a bin tag. The item tag is meant for jewelry or very small items. The item tag has the part number and alternate part number listed on it, and that is a tag that you can produce. Yes, and you can go to the LTSR catalog, which is available at portal.paladinpos.com. Just search for LTSR, which stands for labels, tags, sale signs, and reports. All right, the next is we do have a new bin tag style as well. So if you like this bin tag and you use a desktop printer, you're able to move to this label very easily. Incremental part numbers. So when you're adding an item to the inventory, you have an opportunity to put in an alternate part number that's automatically assigned by the system. In this case, it's called an X number. The alternate part number would always start with an X and then go out 5 digits from there. So in this case, I've already got 4 in there. So the next one in line is 5. Once you use 5, the next one in line will be 6. It just sequentially adds these numbers and lets you add these part numbers. In addition to that, what's really cool is you can go into the data viewer when you're doing a mass import. Let's say you're doing an import of 500 items or 1,000 items or what have you, and you want to go ahead and create alternate part numbers because there are no alternate part numbers for it. It can do that as well during the import. So next, exporting your sales into Excel. So we have an opportunity for you to export sale list. Now, why would that be an advantage? Well, you might want to use the same sale list, but increase the percentage of discount or change the sale price or add items to it. So you can do that very easily just by clicking on export and bring it up in Excel, make your changes, turn around and use the import file to go right back into the sale list. Very convenient and easy way to modify existing sale lists without having to go in one by one by one. In a column and row format, just makes it really simple. So to access this, you just go to File, Set Up Sale List, and do remember you must click on the Edit tab to expose, export, and import. If you do not hit Edit, they will be grayed out, and you'll be calling Paladin. And we're going to say, well, just hit the Edit button, and it'll pop. It'll make it so that it's you can select it. All right. Next, description 3 is now under advanced lookup keyword search, which just means if you're familiar with the description 3, it's typically used in the Volusion integrations or other integrations with e-commerce sites. It's the long description, if you will. Now you can search this long description field. It just becomes keyword search by default. So again, this is primarily used for e-commerce integrations. We do have an integration with Volusion. If you want to learn more about it, you can go in and search Volusion in Paladin's portal.paladinpos.com site or our help menu, and from there you can learn more about it. But we also we recently produced an API, an application programming interface, which will allow you to integrate with Paladin through any e-commerce system that enables that sort of integration. Talk to your web developer if you're interested, and or call Paladin. Accounting integration updates. So just to remind you and mention that we've got a few integrations that we've changed slightly. The integration with QuickBooks Enterprise, so that we're not using a third party, we're going direct, so it's very stable. We're very happy about that. If you are still using Syntegration today, you have an opportunity to go direct through the Paladin integration. Next, we have the Sage 50 Cloud, and also we have an integration with Microsoft Dynamics GP. So if you receive purchase orders after the after the purchase order is closed, it automatically will send that PO as an invoice over to the accounting software for the vendor bills to be paid, which is pretty cool. And that's near real time versus all the other roll-up information that typically gets sent over is at midnight or close to it every night. So the last feature here, Capital One Trade Credit Rebranding. So Blue Tarp was purchased by Capital One. Those of you who are using Blue Tarp, you know the value, and we're now changing the button down below. It's the only difference. You're going to see everything else is going to work the same way. It, in real time, communicates with Capital One. You'll get your credit, however they do it, direct deposit or in the mail, I'm not sure. But this is a very cool feature. If you're tired of dealing with outstanding debt, with carrying accounts receivable balances on your books, and you want that money, I think they still offer this. I know that Blue Tarp did, where they would buy your statements from you and they would manage them. So you don't even have to generate statements anymore if you elect to use Capital One. All the information, both the payments and the purchases, are directly pushed to Capital One. So it makes it real easy and convenient. All right, so moving on. So that was it for all the different features that we've added recently. You can go in and find more information out if you go into the knowledge base and put this information in. You can see the URLs below or the links below. Basically, you can go into portal.paladinpos.com from any computer from anywhere in the world and just search for Paladin-2021. Either -A or -B, and you will get the release guides that has more information about these. And also feel free to contact Paladin. Just to put a little plug in for the next webinar, we have Remote Stock Check Simplifies Ordering webinar, which is on August 3rd at 9 a.m. This is a really important one, guys. I wouldn't miss this, and if you do miss it, please tune in and watch it after the fact. We're enabling you to have a capability to not only check stock in the warehouse for your main supplier, if the supplier offers that support, but you can also, when generating purchase orders, split up the PO, breaking it into 3 different categories. The first section would be those items that you're ordering that there are none in the warehouse. So you can very quickly and easily see, okay, all these first 40 items, they don't even have these. I need to go to another source for these. The second grouping are partial fills, and the third grouping are all items that are available in the warehouse. It's a really cool feature. I think, most of the people I talk to have said it's shaved hours and hours off of their ordering process because they're not having to go and look up what's available in the warehouse today and what isn't. So do check that webinar out, again, August 3rd at 9 a.m. That's it for today. I don't see any questions. You can always go to paladinpointofsale.com/retailscience/webinars and /store if you want to shop in our store. We sell everything from supplies to hardware to computers to scanners and so on. And all that's available either by clicking on the help button in Paladin or by going to portal.paladinpos.com. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you attending today. Just the sheer fact that you're watching this tells me that you're interested in growing your store, learning more about Paladin, how to incorporate this tool into increasing efficiencies in this world where it's really difficult to find help, right? Everybody's telling me they're doing more with less. And I think if you are able to fold Paladin into your operations, it's going to save you time, and it's going to enable you to get the work done that you need to get done at the same time of managing your inventory and helping you with statements and all the other things that Paladin does. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for attending, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.